Welcome to Cone's Court with your hosts, Shruti and Angela. This week we'll be traveling from Plano, Texas to Washington, D.C.
So, Shruti, what happened last time on Cone Court?
Angela, the original board of trustees of Dartmouth College made a valiant attempt at retaining their private status. The state of New Hampshire had mandated that a Dartmouth College be turned from a private to public college, and also that the state would have power to elect the board of trustees for the college.
The old Board of Trustees of Dartmouth College sued William H. Woodward, former secretary of the old board, due to his traitorous actions through deserting his peers and vying to become the new secretary-treasurer of the new state-appointed board. The old board, which had been established as a private college by a charter from King George in 1769, claimed that its constitutional freedom of contract was violated when the state seized it and turned it into a public college.
Right. The New Hampshire Supreme Court ruled against the old board, determining that Dartmouth College's charter was not a contract entitled to the constitutional protection. This week, the old board of trustees persevered to maintain their private status, determined to finally win their claim by appealing to the Supreme Court of the United States.
Let's see what happens.
Now, the contracts clause in the Constitution says that the federal government needs to honor any private contracts made in between private entities. Even though the relations with Great Britain and America are somewhat frayed after the Revolutionary War, that does not negate the fact that our contract holds true and that mandates that Dartmouth College is a private institution.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Calling to session the case of Dartmouth versus Woodward. The prosecution will be Dartmouth College, represented by Mr. Daniel Webster. The defense will be Mr. William Woodward. Is the prosecution ready?
The prosecution is ready.
Like the defense is too.
I, Daniel Webster, am here in the place of Dartmouth College, a college with an extensive history established in 1769 by the Honorable King George of the glorious land of Great Britain.
I've already said that.
Okay, fine. So, anyways, the question of today's trial is, does the state have the right to change our charter? Of course not. The charter specifically spelled out the purpose and structure of the school of the state of New Hampshire cannot revise their charter for their own benefit and change it from a private to a public institution. Also, they think that they can appoint our board for us. Preposterous. We already have to deal with traitors like Woodward, who left our side to join the state's side.
Honey, I left Dartmouth for that state 'cause I think that contract is too old. We don't need to be no private school, we need to be public. That way everyone wins. But those educated gentlemen be cray thinking I'm this treasonist wanna stab them in the back. Like that Benedict Arnold who went all ballistic and cheated on America to fraternize with Britain back in the American Revolution.
The charter between the king and the state was one of confidence and private in nature. He didn't give it to us as a king giving his land to a countryman, but rather as a friend, entrusting the honorable values of education and imagination to a confidant. Our relationship was never public in nature. It was a private exchange of aspirations.
Well, that's so 50 years ago.
47 to be exact.
Well, dude, nobody cares. Just like nobody cares about your hair.
What? Can we focus, please? Onwards to the case.
Well then, anyways, even if it was a private exchange, it still doesn't change the fact that the charter was the King of England. Hello, His Majesty of Intolerable Acts. We're a totally independent country now, and the university under the state rule will become public for the greater good of America.
You seem to have forgotten that the state acts of such would be violating Article 10 of the Constitution, which states that states cannot weaken or cancel a contract.
But dude, your charter ain't even a contract.
Let me tell you, my friend. A charter constitutes a contract in the fullest sense of law because it includes every element of a contract, both parties, subject matter, and agreement of parties with mutual obligation. Your Honor, our beloved institution may have some public characteristics, but it's still a small private enterprise whose trustees simply cannot be replaced with due process. Remember, my fellow Americans, there is danger in unchecked legislative power. It is, sir, as I have said, a small college, and yet there are those who love it.
All right, you two. The court rules in favor of Daniel Webster, representing Dartmouth College, 'cause boy, you moved me to tears! But still, a corporation in artificial, invisible, intangible, and existing only in contemplation of law. Okay. Dartmouth College is a corporation and can enforce its constitutional right to be free from public intervention. Thus, Dartmouth College, you are free to select your own boarding of business and may remain a private institution.
The court decision created precedent. Dartmouth College continued as a private institution.
Hey!
The thing is, the charter essentially was a contract between the king and the trustees. Though America is no longer a royal colony of the British, the contract will still remain because of the Constitution stating that the state cannot pass laws to impair a charter.
As a result, this case encouraged business development and growth and led to corporations being chartered by states, increasing the power of the state government. However, states couldn't pass laws to impair these charters, leaving businesses to be more secure.
Hence, businesses are more apt to attract investors, employ more workers, and contribute to national prosperity. And this, kiddos, is the wild case of Dartmouth College versus Woodward.
See you next time!